What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules? And imagine how you
So I'm Alix Moggia. I'm extremely excited to be with you today, to have this product AI days. Looking forward speaking with you guys. I think it's an incredible moment. I think the scenery is amazing. I don't know, I usually say, living in Annecy, when I see extraordinary building, I start my day well, and this morning it was the case. So it's cool, let's go. So who I am, so I had a wonderful poem from Johan, thank you so much. I've been in tech for the last 20 years, doing product management. I'm a CPO and entrepreneur. I've been very lucky to have my own startup that I exited, we exited 3 years ago. And since then, I'm doing a mix of being a CPO, as a fractional CPO, being an advisor and a mentor for startups and scale-ups. And also, I added this year to be a lecturer with Master 2 students, and that was fun. Cool. So, why does AI bring so many questions, and what are there? Virginie, what's your main questions regarding AI? Security. Carmen, what's your main questions? Data privacy, cool. So when I'm with CEO or CPOs, those are a few of the questions that people ask themselves. Should I completely review my product strat? Where does it make most sense to include it? Should I review my team, my process, my org? Should it be a total reshape? Where should I start? How much it costs? Is my infra able to cope with it? And how do I ensure, back to Virginie and Carmen's question, with Regulation AI Act and myself, when I had my slap moment was, is my job over? To be honest. So it happens to me last year when I prompt, each time you are in a SaaS B2B, you are a few specs that you always need to do, like how users will log in. And I love how Conto is doing login. You have your email already, and you have the social connect, so I thought it was so cool. And I prompted, and basically they give me the perfect specs. I spend a few minutes prompting, receive the specs, and then change it a bit. It was a very good 80-20, and I was like, oh my God, I'm done. So we saw it, and I think this is really why I like the theme of this conference. Basically, AI impacts us in 3 different dimensions. It's changing really how we operate as product teams. It challenges our product strategies, offering new opportunities. And the girl on the left is playing the piano, and I wish that someone can do a show for me now. But really, it's a learning and non-linear process. And coming back to how we start with Tristan, this Diane Kruger effect is really hard, and I really feel that, and I really align with that. So that are the 3 dimensions. So let's step back. AI isn't that new, okay? We've been working with machine learning models for long, deep learning, so artificial intelligence as per se isn't that new. What is really new, of course, is LLM. So to start with, I would like us to consider that there are 3 different tech companies. AI as a core product. And of course, if I give an example of, Ahmed just went through a photo room, for those who were in the room, but of course, photo room is a core AI product. And you also have AI-assisted product company, which are a bit different. And then you have non-AI, but except if you are in really 0 to 1 and building your first use case, I'm not saying non-AI companies don't exist. Of course, they do exist. But there are a few of them. So we'll exclude them from the discussion. So core versus assisted, a few examples. So diffusely, I was a CPO and CPTO at diffusely a few years ago, and basically we were doing a transformation. It's a very interesting case when it comes to AI. We were doing a transformation from a marketplace of service. So you may know diffusely as Miro with 2E. And basically, a Miro proposition started with being a marketplace of service for brands that needs pictures to find the photographers all over Earth. And basically, Miro started with being an AI-assisted company. So basically, first value proposition, you were finding photographer wherever on Earth to shoot for the different business case. So either you shoot for real estate, you shoot for travel, you're booking or Airbnb. You need guys to go and shoot your properties. For food, you are some restaurant owner, you want to be in some delivery platform, you need to shoot for your restaurant. Cars, you're car sellers, you need to shoot for cars and so on. And so basically the value prop was really find photographers that shoot for your purpose, and then to be able to do the post-processing. So usually photographers are taking 1 hour to shoot, and then they need 4 hours for post-processing. So diffusely was doing the post-processing. And basically AI was here to support a huge ops team and was created with an amazing computer vision team, was doing a different algorithm. And then the pivot happened, and we decided to focus only on being a B2B2C app with visual enhancements powered by AI. So switching from AI assisted to AI as core. And on the example here, you see, I think, resonates with what Ahmed just drove us through, you know, enhancements of the different pictures that you see on the wall are, you know, you go from gray slide to blue sky, of course. You are able to remove some, on the second example here, all the kitchen appliance that doesn't look good. And you can also show what your yellow kitchen could look like if you were to be able to redo it. Then we have a company I work with right now, Cover. It's an insurtech scale-up. Basically, when users submit a claim, so you know it's doing everything from policy handling to claim management, and they have claim handler in Brussels. So basically, when users submit the claims, you have a whole workflow. Okay, you have a whole workflow. I'll give you an example. For example, if you are taking a travel insurance, one of the first thing that claim handler needs to check is that something happened to you during your travel. You're insured for that. One of the first things that claim handler were having a look is the travel date corresponds to the travel insurance date, of course. So basically, of course, you have automatic check for that. But then there is like all the submission. If you're passing the first submissions check, you have all the documents that needs to be uploaded, the questions that needs to be raised based on different cases, the document uploads to prove your truth, and then follow the process of claim handling. So all of that today is AI assisted. And so basically it goes faster, and it provides amazing and great results. So that's the difference between, for me, AI as core and AI assisted. So product strategy in action, very briefly on this part. So, you know, the 5 product, we are product manager. We have 5 disciplines that talk to each other, of course. The product strategy, product discovery, and product delivery. After we have evangelization and stakeholder management. Of course, the first 3 ones, product strategy, product discovery, and product delivery talks together. Basically, of course, you know that chart. If I restate what is product strategy, we are usually need company mission, objective, KPI. Ideally, we drive a product vision, which is more 3 to 10 years, and some product principles. And from there, we are going to be able to create a product strategy that really comes into building with your team in action with OKRs and product roadmap. So basically, something that I really like to tell when I talk to more junior PM, the product strategy, there's often a frustration that I don't do enough product strategy. Let's demystify product strategy. Product strategy is only a path from a point A to a point B, with whatever we said before. And whatever part of the organization you are, if you're managing your squad, if you're VP with a portfolio, or if you're a CPO, it's just the wide of the topics you manage. But anyone is doing product strategy if you do a correct PM job. So basically, of course, there are some key themes that we're going to discuss during product strategy, which is, what is the macro environment, what are the mega trends, what is the market size, what are the pains we want to solve, what is your key business approach, winner takes it all, or, playing on your differentiator, what is the major internal and external challenges, your technical debt could be one, for an internal challenges, and basically what are going to be your investment theme, now, next, and later. On that, basically, the way I try to do it, I'm a very big fan of opportunity solution tree from Teresa Torres. Not saying I do it by the book, not saying I show that types of slide to CEOs, not. It's just to help the team think about, for a given desired outcome, what are the different opportunities I have, what are the different solutions I could have. And of course, if you want an example, if you want to grow your revenue, one good theme is going to be your ability to reduce time to value for users. And to do that, you have different ways. You can enhance your onboarding flow. You can do a new onboarding flow AI assisted. You can, do a checklist, AI assisted or not, of what are the steps you've done and did you get our software the right way. You can also simply have, human interactions with webinars, trainings, Slack community to help you on board. So you have different solutions. Teresa Torres then explained that you want a different experiment there. The way I do it is I usually map it, at least for me, for my own understanding, with the basic rice. I know that a lot of people say rice is dead, rice is there, etc. But I do think rice is super cool, quite easy to use to have a first gut of what you want to do. So rice used by Intercom, as you probably know. What is my reach? What is my impact? What is my confidence? And what's the effort? So that's basically, some of the things I'm putting together to do a product strategy. And then now, there is product strategy in the age of AI. So, first of all, leverage AI. So this is built on leverage AI to build your product strategy. Okay? Nothing will be perfect. It's a learning curve, but please use it. And it's fun because really, 3 years ago, we were at Miro, and I was thinking about, what is the strategy we should be using, what model should we be using, many things I'm going to discuss now, but we didn't, of course, we were testing Copilot and so on, but in the product team, we won't be as focused on how could I leverage AI to make my work faster. And so basically, it's exactly what everyone described. For me, there's been, I'm fully aligned with Tristan when I was trying prompting. Then I was like, oh, it's too fluffy, it's not precise, everyone's going to be the same, and I have my own style. And basically, I discovered RAG, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. I can tell him to really use his intelligence only on document I selected. So for me, it's been a game changer when it comes to market insight, basic analysis of the competition, first questions on product strategy, for rice analysis, trying to feed him with a prompt, and he say, if you were the head of this team, what do you think the effort will be? I'm not saying it will replace, but just giving me a bit of thinking on, go faster. Try to grasp as much as I can the next product strat. We discuss about specific tooling. Of course, Cursor, Lovable, Bolt, there are so many to test. Like, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to test all of them? But at least, try to work with your peer, try to see what's going on. Evangelization is a very, very important part of our job. Midjourney, photo room, you could be using. All the presentation AI, I didn't fully get it. I'm still fighting with some of them, but I'm sure with a bit of persistence will get there. And then AI agents and workflow. My preferred use case, I'm a big, big fan of users' interviews. I'm also a trail runner, so when I'm doing a competition, I spend hours running in the mountains, and I do that either usually having information podcast or product podcasts that I hear a lot, and also user interview. So I'm running in the mountain within my ear, all the user interview at 1.25, sometimes 1.5, to recall what we've done. And I think it's super cool. And the frustration I had is, okay, when we're doing 2 weeks of intensive product interview, of course we do it continuously, sometimes you want to go back to the user interview you've done 6 months ago, but you never really find the time to refine the good user interview where you wanted to have that. And in fact, having an AI, I created a small AI agent where I really play and replay basically question based on my product strategy and my product discovery in action. So those are kind of things like you can use every day. And of course, the aggregation also from different sources is also pretty cool. Second main question, should I leverage AI for a given opportunity? So we just saw the rice. So there are variations of the rice or the rice F. Or you include it into your rice already, but I think it's important to say, what should I be using? And I think there's two main questions that I like here. There is the AI leverage. How much is AI necessary or uniquely impactful? Okay, is it really transformative for me to use AI? Or, as we were mentioned, it's good to put a small sparkling stuff for the board deck. And really asking yourself this question, I already think it's pretty cool, in a very easy setup, 1 to 5. Then the AI feasibility, more complex one. How likely are we going to succeed for that? How complex it is from an AI standpoint. And this is where we're coming to the heart of AI. Do I have data available? Do I have accessibility on the model? Is the model mature enough? And do I have the infrastructure available? Okay, and you can put it as a percentage of your confidence. You can treat it the same way as your C in your rice as a percentage. Make or buy. So make or buy, always been a heated debate on product teams. Usually when I go into team, I say, usually think by default that I would like to buy it. Okay? And so usually it's where it comes fun. So basically why usually you do a make or buy is you want to go, you want to leverage other capabilities and you want to go fast to market. And there's also a question on the investments you want to have. And basically in AI, it's not the same. It's not the same because if, we are all somehow both make and buying. So it's a different paradigm. So basically, on that front, you need to discuss about going back to our AI as core or AI assisted. What is a key? Is it a key differentiator? Do I have the data? It's a basis. Of course, we're discussing about model, but do I have the data? Do I have the data in the right format? Do I have the data labelized? Do I have enough data? So, of course, there are many talks talking about data and product. Of course, there's a huge link between them. Do I have the infra I need to be able to do that. Do I have the force in presence to be able to do them? Do I have ML engineers? And one passion in my life, it's distance to objective. What is the acceptable distance to objectives that I want to have? If competitors are doing it, how far are they from the objectives? And basically the model evolution, am I happy to use a black box model, or do I want to have control over that, my time to market and my investments? My preferred topic, second preferred topic, with distance to objective, human in the loop. That's all probably we corrected, but the mirror, the car reflection is something hard to do. And basically, how, when you are using a model, how can you test it? How can you test it? What are the expert control you want to have when it comes to AI? Do you need, so this example was diffusely was, pushing cars, a picture, and then they are used into different website, car dealers' website. So I cannot have the second picture, obviously, for a client. So how do you make sure you don't have those use cases? Because we know AI sometimes fail, And so basically, the third one is a humanly retouched output that went into the website. And basically, how do you take those, those experts' control into account? How do you design your product to think about that? Because I see many many AI startups telling me, oh, but that's so boring to have this process, this human in the loop process. If at the opposite, your teams is only super experts, super AI experts, how do you manage this more more development part of your process, and how do you design your org and process to take those into account? I'm done. So basically, in a nutshell, AI is challenging everything at once, and I think this is what we have these types of conference. Please study it differently, of course, if it's your core or if it's AI assisted. Think about how, for your peace of mind, you are updating your product strategy framework, whatever being, I present you a few, but could be something completely other, to take into account AI, but in a fair way, where it really makes sense. I didn't discuss so much about the common pitfalls, but, common pitfalls are overestimating AI capabilities, poor data quality, of course, and we didn't discuss too much about it, but ethical, regulation, all the risk that you need to handle your AI right. And spend time, make or buy, or human in the loop. And I'm done. Thank you very much.
Sehr, sehr.